one place in Soweto that registers a large percentage of visitors daily is the former house of Nelson Mandela, the great African leader and activist who was in the forefront of the fight against apartheid. In the years before the struggle, Mr. Mandela lived here with his wife, Winnie, and their children. Today, the two-bedroom bungalow, which can better be described as an apartment with small rooms, is home to materials used for the apartheid struggle and personal belongings of Nelson Mandela and his family. Cameras are not allowed into the Nelson Mandela Museum, so I was unable to record visuals to reflect the lifestyles of the Mandelas years back and numerous materials explaining the doggedness of the human rights struggle. Kosi, my Zulu friend, works in the museum as a guide and gives an insight to the lives of the Mandelas and what the house represents today.
Hello, my name is Kosi. It's a Zulu name. It means a princess of my father. I work at Mandela Museum in Soweto. I'm a side guide over there. Mr. Mandela in this house lived for 15 years before he was taken to prison from 1946 up until 61. But he was born in the Eastern Cape in Transkei on the 18th of July in 1918. He came to Johannesburg in 1940, living in the squatter camps in Alexandra. By the time he was living there, he was working as a security guide in the mines. With the 15 years, he lived here with both wives, but in different times. His first wife was Evelyn. She died 2 years ago at the age of 82. They had 4 kids with Evelyn, 2 boys and 2 girls. A girl died when she was 9 months, having a heart problem. A boy died in a car accident, visited him in prison in Robben Island. The other boy died last year with AIDS. There's only one girl living. She's a professor at Wits University in Johannesburg. With Evelyn, they were married in 1944. In 1957, they divorced. Evelyn never believed in politics. She was a Jehovah's Witness. 1958, he married Winnie. They had 2 daughters. The elder daughter, she's married to a prince in Swaziland, and the younger one, she's a businesswoman in Johannesburg. Now Mandela has got 3 daughters living, and none of them, they're not in politics, because they did see the struggle of their parents. This house here was petrol bombed, 1985, renovated in 1987. The structure of the house outside is still original, but inside is different. The wood panelings inside is to cover the fire marks, and the furniture around this old house is not original. The one that is said was used after prison because Mandela came back to this house just for only 11 days. Because of the privacy, they moved to their house, where Winnie lives now. It's not far from here. And while they used to live here, there was no electricity. There was no running water inside. Only one tap they used for the whole street, and the toilet used to be outside. The toilet inside the house is an addition in 1989. Winnie was living here while Mandela was in prison. She maintained this house because she was a social worker at the biggest hospital, the Chris Hani Baragwana. And Nelson, that's not his real name. Mandela was studying in missionary schools when he was young. His real name is Holy Shasha. It's a Xhosa's name. Mandela's tribe is Xhosa. It starts with an R, but we pronounce it as a G. So he could not pronounce his name, then his teacher named him Nelson. So Holy Shasha, it means pulling the branches of a tree. And now Mr. Mandela lives in the suburb of Johannesburg in Horton with his 3rd wife, Graça Michelle. They were married in 1998 when he was turning 80. Graça Michelle was married to the late president of Mozambique, Samora Machel. He died in a plane crash in 1986. The last room, it used to be his main bedroom. Mandela, he is from a royal family in the Eastern Cape. The blanket that you'll see on top of the bed, it symbolizes it. It was made by the skins of the jackals. He was supposed to be a chief, but he ran away home from an arranged marriage. This house have got a history of Mandela and Mama Winnie, so this is the best place for them because it reminds me of Mandela, how he did fight for black people around South Africa.
Right in front of the museum is an eatery I learnt belongs to Winnie Mandela. It is also a regular for tourists.